さん、こんにちは。始めさせていただきます。チューズフランスウェビナーシリーズ4日目。今日は人文社会学、法学をテーマにした一日になっております。皆さんどうぞよろしくお願いいたします。それではまず15時から、日仏会館フランス国立日本研究所所長ベルナール、トマン氏による講演を始めさせていただきます。日仏会館人文社会科学の研究と日仏の学術交流についてお話しいただきます。Bonjour Bernard, je vous laisse la parole.
D'accord, merci beaucoup Caroline. 皆様、こんにちは。私はトマンと申します。Je m'appelle Bernard Thoman. Je vais faire la présentation en français. このプレゼンテーションをフランス語でしていただきます。Alors, je vais commencer par partager mon écran. 画面共有をしていただきます。ちょっと待ってください。Voilà, j'espère que vous voyez tous bien l'écran. Donc, je vais d'abord vous présenter rapidement ce qu'est la maison franco-japonaise, d'abord à travers son histoire. Alors, la maison franco-japonaise est une institution qui a une très longue histoire. Elle a été fondée en 1924 par Paul Claudel, qui était à cette époque l'ambassadeur de France au Japon et, vous le savez peut-être, en même temps un très grand poète. Et par Shibuzawa Eiichi, que vous connaissez très sûrement, puisque actuellement il est très célèbre au Japon, qui était banquier et industriel. On dit aujourd'hui le père du capitalisme japonais. Alors, cette maison franco-japonaise a été fondée en 1924 dans le cadre d'un partenariat entre la France, c'est-à-dire le ministère des Affaires étrangères, et le Japon, qui a apporté des fonds privés. Et c'est-à-dire que, en quelque sorte, les Japonais ont donné l'argent pour construire le bâtiment et le faire fonctionner. Et ça a été le rôle de Shibuzawa Eiichi de chercher cet argent. Et il est devenu le premier président du conseil d'administration de cette maison. Et à l'intérieur de cette maison, il y a eu aussi un bureau français qui avait pour objectif, dès cette époque, de conduire des recherches sur le Japon. Alors, où se trouve la maison franco-japonaise? Alors, la maison franco-japonaise a déménagé plusieurs fois. Au début, elle se trouvait dans le quartier de Nagatacho, près de la Diète. C'était un bâtiment de style européen où il y avait un lieu pour tenir des conférences et où il y avait des appartements pour les chercheurs qui travaillaient dans la maison, mais aussi pour les chercheurs qui étaient invités. Ensuite, cette maison a déménagé à Ochanomizu, dans un quartier qui était davantage universitaire. Alors, cette maison a été transportée, la maison que vous voyez à gauche en bois, a été démontée et transportée à Ochanomizu. Mais en 1960, elle a été détruite et on a construit un nouveau bâtiment en béton que vous voyez au milieu de l'image. C'est effectivement un bâtiment qui ressemble un peu à un bâtiment du Corbusier. Ce bâtiment a accueilli donc la maison franco-japonaise jusqu'en 1995. Et à partir de 1995, elle a déménagé à Ebisu, et aujourd'hui, elle se trouve encore à Ebisu, dans ce bâtiment de verre et de béton que vous pouvez voir sur la droite. Donc, il y a eu 3 endroits pour la maison franco-japonaise, et ces 3 endroits, ces 3 bâtiments ont toujours eu pour fonction d'accueillir des chercheurs permanents, des chercheurs français travaillant sur le Japon et qui travaillaient de manière permanente pour plusieurs années, mais aussi loger des chercheurs français invités pour des conférences et qui restaient et qui restent encore aujourd'hui, hein, 1 semaine ou 2 semaines dans le bâtiment. Le centre de recherche français, qui se trouve à l'intérieur du bâtiment, fait partie en fait d'un réseau de centres de recherche qui sont liés au ministère des Affaires étrangères et au CNRS. C'est ce qu'on appelle le réseau des UMIFRE. Et la France a donc un très grand nombre, 27, un assez grand nombre de centres de recherche à travers le monde, et qui mènent des recherches sur le pays où ils se trouvent et qui servent aussi, en quelque sorte, qui servent la diplomatie culturelle, la recherche, la diplomatie culturelle, mais qui interagissent aussi avec les ambassades locales pour mener des opérations communes. Alors, vous voyez qu'en Asie, par exemple, il y a 5 UMIFRE. Donc, il y a l'UMIFRE de Tokyo, qui est donc l'Institut français de recherche sur le Japon à la maison franco-japonaise, qui se trouve à Tokyo, qui est le 2e UMIFRE le plus ancien, puisque je vous ai dit qu'il date de 1924, et qui est accueilli au sein de cette fondation japonaise. Mais en Asie, vous avez aussi 4 autres UMIFRE. Vous avez l'UMIFRE de Hong Kong, l'UMIFRE de Bangkok et les UMIFRE de Pondichéry et de New Delhi. Ces UMIFRE d'Asie, d'ailleurs, travaillent beaucoup ensemble. Actuellement, ces 5 UMIFRE d'Asie travaillent ensemble sur un projet de recherche qui est financé par le CNRS et qui s'appelle Sustain Asia, c'est-à-dire qui travaille sur les questions d'environnement en Asie. Et c'est un projet qui dure depuis 3 ans et qui a donné lieu à un certain nombre de conférences dans divers endroits d'Asie. Alors, vous avez aussi, bien sûr, d'autres UMIFRE à travers le monde, mais je n'y reviendrai pas en détail. L'UMIFRE, Institut français de recherche sur le Japon à la maison franco-japonaise, c'est-à-dire l'UMIFRE de Tokyo, est inséré, donc on l'a vu, dans un réseau d'UMIFRE qui mènent des recherches indépendantes les uns des autres, mais aussi des recherches en commun. Mais l'Institut français de recherche sur le Japon à la maison franco-japonaise, l'UMIFRE de Tokyo, a aussi des accords avec des universités françaises et japonaises avec lesquelles elle collabore particulièrement. Par exemple, elle a un accord avec l'École des hautes études en sciences sociales, que vous connaissez peut-être, qui est une université qui donne des diplômes de master et de doctorat à Paris et qui a beaucoup de très bons chercheurs en sciences sociales. Et ces chercheurs viennent régulièrement donner des conférences ou mener des projets de recherche avec notre UMIFRE à Tokyo. Il y a aussi l'Institut national des langues et civilisations orientales, qui est un peu l'équivalent à Tokyo, ce qu'on appelle Tokyo Gaikugo Daigaku, Gaidai, et qui est spécialisé dans les civilisations et langages orientaux. On a aussi un accord avec l'Université de Waseda, avec le Centre international de recherche sur la culture japonaise, le Kokusai Nihon Kenkyu Center, mais aussi avec le Centre allemand d'études japonaises, le Deutsche Nihon Kenkyu-jo, qui est un petit peu notre équivalent pour l'Allemagne. Au sein de l'UMIFRE, un certain nombre de recherches sont menées. Et ces axes de recherche peuvent être divisés en 3. Il y a d'abord un axe de recherche sur l'environnement et les populations. Cet axe de recherche a, on le verra, beaucoup mené de recherches sur la catastrophe de Fukushima, et notamment les questions de reconstruction à Fukushima. Il y a aussi un autre axe de recherche qui est plutôt centré sur l'économie et les mobilisations sociales, et notamment sur l'évolution du monde du travail ou des relations du travail dans le Japon d'aujourd'hui. Mais aussi avec un aspect plus historique, notamment, par exemple, l'introduction de l'économie, de la science économique occidentale au Japon au début, à la fin du 19e et au début du 20e siècle. Et puis, il y a aussi un axe qui est plutôt centré sur l'étude des villes, des inégalités dans les villes, et qui étudie, par exemple, le vieillissement dans les villes au Japon, notamment à Osaka. Donc, vous voyez, donc un certain nombre de recherches qui sont menées par des chercheurs français qui sont en général au Japon pour 3 ou 4 ans. Alors, ces recherches font régulièrement l'objet de grands colloques, de grands congrès. Alors, l'année dernière, en octobre, je veux dire au mois de novembre, pardon, au mois de novembre, il y a eu un grand colloque sur le travail au XXIe siècle. Ce qu'on appelle au Japon la réforme sur la manière de travailler, c'est-à-dire Atarashi Hatarakikata no Kaikaku. Alors c'est un colloque qui a duré 2 jours et qui a rassemblé un certain nombre de chercheurs français et japonais, mais aussi un certain nombre de responsables politiques, des hauts fonctionnaires, ou même des présidents de syndicats, puisque par exemple le président de la Rengo, du syndicat Rengo, était présent. Vous avez aussi un alors j'essaie de voilà, vous avez eu aussi un autre colloque au début de cette année qui correspondait à un autre axe de recherche, et donc là aussi organisé par les chercheurs de la maison franco-japonaise, qui était sur les 10 ans de la catastrophe de Fukushima, et qui était intitulé « Crise, fracture, nouvelle dynamique, 10 ans après les catastrophes du 11 mars ». Alors c'était là aussi un grand colloque qui a duré 2 jours et qui était par webinaire, puisque bien sûr, actuellement, nous ne pouvons pas faire de colloques dans la maison. C'est-à-dire, en général, les colloques, ils ont lieu dans l'auditorium. Nous avons une grande salle, un auditorium au sein de la maison franco-japonaise, mais pour l'instant, à cause de la crise de la Covid, nous ne pouvons pas l'utiliser et donc nous faisons des webinaires. À côté de ces conférences, donc de ces recherches qui donnent lieu à des conférences, l'Institut français de recherche sur le Japon à la maison franco-japonaise, donc l'UMIFRE à Tokyo, édite aussi une revue d'études japonaises qui traite donc du Japon et qui publie des articles de recherche en sciences sociales. Alors, il y a chaque fois un thème principal. Par exemple, le dernier numéro d'Ebisu était consacré aux architectes de l'ère Heisei et a été donc réalisé et est disponible en libre accès, c'est-à-dire que tout le monde peut le lire sans avoir à l'acheter. Il suffit d'aller sur le site de la maison franco-japonaise et de le lire. Et de trouver donc la rubrique Ebisu, et là vous avez un lien vers le contenu des revues d'Ebisu. Vous avez aussi deux autres numéros en préparation, qui est donc un numéro spécial sur la catastrophe du 11 mars 2011, donc à l'occasion des 10 ans de cette catastrophe, et qui va paraître là en juin, au mois de juin, ce sera disponible. Et puis, il y aura un peu plus tard un autre numéro d'Ebisu qui sera consacré au cinéma japonais. Une des autres missions de l'Institut français de recherche sur le Japon à la maison franco-japonaise, à côté des recherches et de la publication des recherches, c'est-à-dire à part ces recherches, dont la présentation de ces recherches dans des colloques, ou alors la présentation de ces recherches dans une revue, il y a aussi un séminaire doctoral qui est destiné aux doctorants, c'est-à-dire aux étudiants en doctorat français présents au Japon. Il a lieu une fois par mois dans les locaux de la maison franco-japonaise, dans une des salles de la maison franco-japonaise. Ici, vous voyez, c'est la salle qui se trouve au 6e étage et où on a un certain nombre de nos conférences. C'est une plus petite salle que la salle qui se trouve au 1er étage et qui est un amphithéâtre. Ici, vous avez donc une salle plutôt pour des séminaires de type Kenkyukai. Et là, vous avez donc effectivement à chaque fois une présentation d'un ou deux étudiants français qui présentent leurs recherches, les recherches qu'ils mènent dans le cadre de leur doctorat et qui en discutent. Et à ce moment-là, ils peuvent donc bénéficier des conseils à la fois des chercheurs de la maison franco-japonaise, mais aussi des autres étudiants. Alors, actuellement, ces séminaires continuent, mais ils ont lieu en webinaire. Et c'est ouvert à tout le monde, c'est-à-dire que vous-même, vous pouvez effectivement vous inscrire à ces séminaires. Et je vous donnerai après, d'ailleurs, je vous donnerai mon adresse. Je vais vous la donner d'ailleurs tout de suite. Voilà. C'est une adresse à laquelle vous pouvez m'écrire si vous voulez pouvoir assister à ce séminaire pour les doctorants français qui présentent leurs recherches en japonais. Sur le Japon, pardon, qui les présentent en français, en langue française, mais ce sont des recherches qui portent sur le Japon. Vous avez ensuite donc un certain nombre de conférences, mais qui ne sont pas liées aux recherches de la maison franco-japonaise. On a vu qu'il y avait des conférences qui étaient liées au thème de recherche et qui étaient des conférences de recherche. En même temps, la maison franco-japonaise, et en particulier donc, la partie française, l'Institut français de recherche sur le Japon, a pour mission de favoriser les échanges intellectuels et de présenter des intellectuels français aux Japonais et de présenter l'état des recherches en France dans le domaine des sciences sociales en général. Alors ça, c'est le programme du mois de juin, juillet, septembre de cette année. Vous voyez, par exemple, il y aura le 29 juin un débat entre Antoine Compagnon, qui est sans doute le plus grand spécialiste français de la littérature française actuelle, et le professeur Yoshikaze Nakaji, qui est professeur à l'Université de Tokyo et aussi un grand spécialiste de la littérature française. Et il y aura donc un débat sur cette question. Si vous regardez aussi un peu plus tard, le 3 juillet, donc c'est-à-dire dans 2 mois, nous aurons aussi un webinaire avec l'Institut Pasteur, parce que la maison franco-japonaise collabore aussi avec l'Institut Pasteur. Le bureau japonais de l'Institut Pasteur s'est installé dans la maison franco-japonaise et il collabore avec nous pour pouvoir analyser les dimensions économiques, sociales, politiques de la crise de la Covid. Donc, vous voyez que ces conférences sont sur toutes sortes de disciplines. C'est à la fois de la littérature, ça peut être de l'histoire et de la sociologie des sciences, mais ça peut être aussi du droit. Par exemple, le jeudi 24 juin, il y aura une conférence, une petite conférence, un webinaire, on va dire, de 2 heures sur la question des mobilisations autour de causes sociales et environnementales et l'utilisation du droit, l'action des avocats dans ces questions environnementales et sociales. Alors c'est un webinaire qui aura lieu à la fois en japonais et en français, avec une traduction simultanée, car beaucoup de nos webinaires sont traduits en japonais, ont une traduction simultanée français-japonais. Alors, il y a aussi des conférences, des grandes conférences de 2 jours, par exemple, qui sont, par exemple, sur des grandes figures françaises, de la culture française. Par exemple, le week-end dernier, les 15 et 16 mai 2021, vous aviez une grande conférence, un grand webinaire de 2 jours sur Proust. Alors là, c'est quelques figures, quelques personnes, grands intellectuels français qui ont été invités les 2-3 dernières années à la maison franco-japonaise. Philippe Descola, que vous connaissez peut-être, qui va revenir faire un grand débat l'année prochaine. Il va débattre l'année prochaine avec le professeur Yamagiwa, qui est un anthropologue japonais spécialiste des gorilles, c'est-à-dire et qui étudie les sociétés animales qui sont proches des sociétés des hommes. Philippe Descola, l'anthropologue français, a beaucoup travaillé entre le rapport nature et culture, et Yamagiwa Yuichi, qui est l'ancien président de l'université de Kyoto, lui a aussi étudié cette question et ils vont débattre au printemps prochain. Nous avons eu par exemple aussi Dominique Méda lors du colloque sur le travail. qui est une grande sociologue française, très très connue. Là encore, Antoine Compagnon, qui est sans doute un des meilleurs spécialistes ou le meilleur spécialiste français actuellement de littérature, ou encore Pierre Rosan-Vallon, comme Philippe Descola et comme Antoine Compagnon, professeur au Collège de France, et qui est spécialiste de l'histoire politique française. Mais nous pourrions mettre encore beaucoup d'autres figures. L'objectif de la Maison franco-japonaise, c'est d'inviter à peu près tous les plus grands intellectuels français du moment. C'est ce qu'on essaie de faire. Et effectivement, beaucoup acceptent de venir au Japon. Alors, avec la Covid, actuellement, ils ne peuvent pas venir, mais en temps normal, ils sont assez nombreux à venir et à faire des conférences. Alors, je voudrais enfin terminer en vous disant qu'il y a aussi à la Maison franco-japonaise une très grande bibliothèque. C'est une bibliothèque vraiment très importante puisqu'elle contient 50 000 ouvrages, essentiellement en français. Alors, c'est une bibliothèque de type recherche, c'est-à-dire c'est surtout des livres de recherche qui concernent la France. Et il y a quelques ouvrages en langue orientale, notamment en japonais, mais ce n'est pas la majorité. D'autre part, nous sommes abonnés à un certain nombre de revues de recherche et nous avons aussi accès, à travers des ordinateurs qui sont sur place, à des collections d'articles français. Et donc, si vous voulez chercher des articles en français dans des revues académiques, vous avez tout à fait intérêt à venir à la bibliothèque de la Maison franco-japonaise. N'importe qui peut être abonné. Il suffit de venir et vous pourrez vous abonner avec, donc moyennant un petit droit d'inscription, mais qui est très très faible. Et une fois que vous avez votre carte de bibliothèque de la Maison franco-japonaise, vous pouvez aussi emprunter des livres à l'Institut français, qui se trouve à Iidabashi. En fait, la carte est en commun. Voilà. Donc, voilà, je vous remercie d'avoir écouté cette présentation et je vais donc maintenant voir si vous avez des questions à poser. Si vous avez des questions à poser, vous pouvez les poser en français ou en japonais. Nihongo demo shitsumon shite kudasai. Voilà, je vous remercie. Enyonaku, kantan na shitsumon demo ii desu. Oui, alors je vous remercie pour ces questions qui commencent à arriver. Donc, il y a une première question donc, sur la littérature. Est-ce que la littérature a un statut important en France? Oui, c'est vrai que la France est un pays qui donne beaucoup d'importance à la littérature et puis aussi donc Jinbun Kagaku, c'est-à-dire aux sciences humaines, c'est-à-dire au-delà de la littérature, la philosophie, l'histoire. Il y a des grandes facultés dans les universités où il y a beaucoup d'étudiants. Et donc, mais je pense que c'est un petit peu comparable au Japon. Au Japon aussi, il me semble qu'on donne beaucoup d'importance aux sciences humaines. Voilà. Sinon, un autre aspect de la question, c'est effectivement les sciences humaines et sociales japonaises sont les sciences humaines et sociales françaises, pardon, les sciences humaines et sociales françaises ont un certain prestige, il me semble, à travers le monde. Par exemple, le colloque sur Proust, qui a eu lieu ce week-end, a eu un public très, très important. Vous avez eu presque 400 personnes qui ont assisté à ce colloque. Et ça prouve, à mon avis, que la France a un certain prestige dans ce domaine. Les professeurs français qui enseignent les sciences humaines et sociales en France sont assez connus à travers le monde, il me semble, car leurs ouvrages sont traduits. Par exemple, Thomas Piketty, alors bien sûr, c'est un économiste, mais c'est aussi un spécialiste de sciences humaines et sociales. Et tous ses ouvrages sont traduits en japonais, en anglais. C'est un auteur qui est très connu à travers le monde. Donc, je pense qu'effectivement, la France est assez connue de ce point de vue-là, à travers le monde. Alors, il y a une autre question. Est-ce que la maison franco-japonaise, c'est-à-dire la bibliothèque ou les conférences de la bibliothèque ou les conférences en général, parce qu'il y a aussi des conférences à la bibliothèque, mais aussi les conférences en général sont ouvertes à tout le monde? Oui, bien sûr, n'importe qui peut venir à la maison franco-japonaise, c'est complètement libre. Alors, à la bibliothèque, vous pouvez venir et lire les livres sur place. Là, vous n'avez rien à payer et vous n'avez pas besoin d'être inscrit. Donc, n'importe qui peut venir aux heures d'ouverture et il n'y a pas besoin d'abonnement. Donc, n'importe qui peut venir. Simplement, si vous voulez emprunter des ouvrages chez vous, remporter des ouvrages chez vous, à ce moment-là, il faut effectivement emprunter, je veux dire, il faut s'inscrire avec un petit droit d'inscription. Pour ce qui est des conférences, toutes nos conférences sont gratuites. Les conférences de l'Institut français de recherche sur le Japon, la partie française de la maison franco-japonaise, donc toutes ces conférences-là sont gratuites. Donc, il faut aller donc, sur le site de la maison franco-japonaise et une fois que vous êtes sur le site de la maison franco-japonaise, vous pouvez vous inscrire, il faut vous inscrire. Et une fois que vous êtes inscrit, si c'est un webinaire, vous allez recevoir l'adresse de ce webinaire. Et quand c'est en présentiel, c'est-à-dire quand c'est dans la maison franco-japonaise elle-même, vous pouvez venir et si vous êtes inscrit, vous pouvez rentrer librement dans la salle. Alors, excusez-moi, j'ai mis un peu de temps d'essayer de bien voir ce que vous vouliez dire. Alors, je pense qu'il faut... voilà. Je pense que pour cette... vous pouvez venir à l'Institut français de recherche sur le Japon. Vous pouvez venir à l'Institut français de recherche sur le Japon. Je pense que c'est un très, très bon endroit, parce que c'est un endroit où tout le monde peut venir. Donc, vous pouvez fréquenter la bibliothèque, venir aux conférences, parler avec les gens, parler avec les conférenciers. Et ça, c'est quelque chose de très important. Sinon, ce que vous pouvez aussi faire, c'est bien sûr aller à l'Institut français, prendre des cours à l'Institut français à Idabashi. Voilà. Ensuite, une autre question. Alors, est-ce que vous pouvez continuer à l'université en France. Alors, si vous voulez devenir chercheur, si je comprends bien, si vous voulez devenir chercheur en France, il faut évidemment faire un doctorat en France, hein, si c'est ça la question. Si vous... Actuellement, dans les universités françaises ou dans les centres de recherche français, il y a beaucoup de chercheurs japonais qui font carrière et qui habitent en France. Par exemple, dans les universités où on étudie le japonais ou la civilisation japonaise, il y a beaucoup de chercheurs japonais. Mais simplement, ces personnes, en général, ont fait un doctorat en France. C'est-à-dire que si vous voulez faire travailler comme chercheur en France, il vaut mieux faire un doctorat en France. C'est-à-dire, vous pouvez faire un master ou même un doctorat au Japon, mais après, il vaut mieux faire un doctorat à nouveau en France si vous voulez faire de la recherche et payer pour faire de la recherche en France. Voilà. Voilà. Est-ce que vous avez d'autres questions? Je crois qu'il nous reste encore 5 minutes. Oui, je vois qu'il y en a encore une autre. Là, je vous en prie, merci beaucoup. N'hésitez pas encore à poser d'autres questions, si vous en avez. Alors, la maison franco-japonaise, vous voyez, ce n'est pas un lieu d'enseignement. Hein. Comme je l'ai dit, c'est un lieu de recherche et d'échange intellectuel. Mais c'est un lieu qui est ouvert aux étudiants. C'est-à-dire que ce n'est pas un lieu où il y a des cours, mais ce qui est important de comprendre, c'est que c'est un lieu qui est ouvert à tout le monde, et donc aux étudiants japonais. Et il y a aussi des conférences qui sont traduites en japonais. Donc, même si vous n'êtes pas sûr de votre niveau de français, vous pouvez quand même venir apprendre des choses sur la France en venant à la maison franco-japonaise ou alors en suivant les webinaires de la maison franco-japonaise. Donc, c'est un lieu où les étudiants peuvent vraiment, je vais dire, japonais, peuvent vraiment venir librement. C'est un lieu ouvert. Donc, n'hésitez pas à venir donc nous voir, à m'écrire. Alors, le site de la maison franco-japonaise, je vais vous l'indiquer parce que là, vous avez le site qui est indiqué en premier, c'est le site du bureau japonais. Ce n'est pas le bureau français. L'adresse pour l'Institut français de recherche sur le Japon, dont je suis le directeur, c'est la deuxième adresse email qui est en dessous. C'est cette adresse qu'il faut prendre. L'adresse qui est au-dessus, c'est l'adresse en fait du bureau japonais, du côté japonais. Le côté français, c'est l'adresse que je vous ai indiquée ensuite. Voilà. Je crois qu'il est l'heure, donc je vais rendre la parole à
Arigatou
Caroline.
gozaimashita. Merci beaucoup, Bernard. Moi aussi, j'ai utilisé la maison franco-japonaise, la bibliothèque pendant mes études. Voilà. それでは、時間になりましたので、これで終了とさせていただきます。次は16時からブルゴーニュ・フランシュコンテ大学のプレゼンテーションが始まります。それでは、トマンさん、ありがとうございました。
Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup. それでは始めさせていただきます。Bonjour Guillaume, je vous laisse la
Bonjour
parole.
Caroline, merci beaucoup.
Bon courage.
Merci. はい。皆様、こんにちは。国際協力のプロジェクトマネージャーのアルベルトと申します。よろしくお願いいたします。本日ご来ありがとうございます。それでは、プレゼンテーションを始まりたいと思います。はい。本日のプレゼンテーションが、Université Bourgogne-Franche-Comté、ブルゴーニュ・フランシュ・コンテ大学についてです。特に、ピースと Rare Book のマスタープログラムについて話したいと思います。プレゼンの流れはこういう感じです。まずは、なぜフランスで留学すればいいのかっていうちょっと話したいと思います。そして、フランスの大学単位制度について、続きは UBFC とは、またはブルゴーニュ・フランシュテ地方について少し話したいと思います。続きが2つのマスターをもうちょっと詳しくいろいろ説明したいと思います。最後にはもちろんブルゴーニュ・フランシュコンテ地方のコロナ対策について少し話したいと思います。このプレゼンテーションにはいくつのところには QR コードを使っていますので、それはビデオとか参考ウェブサイトとのつながりですので、ぜひその時にはご確認ください。では、まず、なぜフランスですね。長い研究の歴史と伝統です。続きは、様々なプロジェクトにおいて政府からの手厚いサポートがあります。例えば、Investissement d'avenir。続きましては、毎年留学生は35万8000人がいます。ノーベル賞65個とフィールズ賞13個も得られます。英語でのプログラムは現在1500個ぐらいですが、毎年増えています。フランスの大学単位制度について簡単な説明と言ったら、高校卒業試験はバカロレアですね。その続きが大学に進んだら、普段3年間の学士号で始まります。それが終わったら、続きたい方が修士後2年間、バックプラス3というんです。で、最後には博士号3年間、バックプラス8というものです。LMD ですね。リサンス、マスター、ドクトラっていうこと。UBFC というのは何かと言ったら、私の大学がブルゴーニュ・フランシュコンテ地方にある7つの高等教育機関の統括するグループです。高水準の修士課程と博士課程の強化を目的に2016年に設立されたんです。参加している高等教育機関は以下の通り、ブルゴーニュ大学 UB、フランシュコンテ大学 UFC、ベルフォール・モンベリアル工業大学 UTBM、École nationale supérieure de mécanique et des microtechniques ENS2M、マイクロ機械工エンジニアスクールです。アグロシュブ・ディジョン農業エンジニアスクールです。Burgundy School of Business BSB ビジネススクール。最後には、École nationale supérieure d'arts et métiers ENSAM 機械工エンジニアスクールです。本日は特に UFC と UB のマスタープログラムを紹介したいと思います。でもその前に少しだけブルゴーニュ・フランシュコンテ地方についてちょっと紹介したいと思いますね。ブルゴーニュ・フランシュコンテ地方は東部にあります。魅力あふれる歴史の多い地方です。または治安が良く安全な地方です。そしてパリから電車 TGV ですね。で90分に行けますので、すごく便利なところなんです。もうちょっと詳しく見たら、キャンパスが現在3つの町にあります。ディジョンとブザンソンとベルフォール・モンベリアル。本日はディジョンとブザンソンで行っているマスタープログラムです。 ブルゴーニュ・フランシュコンテ地方は、いいところが小さすぎず大きすぎないサイズの町です。また、トラム、路面電車、バスの交通網が発達している。買い物がしやすい、物価が安め、またはクルーズの量もあります。で、もちろんブルゴーニュワインとフランシュコンテチーズが特に有名です。それはさっきの話してた QR コードなんですけど、それぞれの町の観光オフィスからの紹介動画がありますので、ぜひそれを町の風景とか、どんなアクティビティができるのか、そのことをぜひ見てみてください。この話をしたら、私は実はディジョンで、もう高校卒業までにずっと住んでいて、で、その後はちょっとパリとトゥールーズで勉強を続けて、で、その後は10年間日本にいました。で、それは去年、ディジョンに帰りましたので、ちょっとホームシックということではないんですが、すごく子供の頃の街に戻るのはとても光栄でした。はい。では、それでは早速、マスターの紹介をしたいと思います。まずは、Master Project in International and European Cultural Engineering PEACE というマスターなんです。基本情報に関しては、プログラムについて文化遺産に関連するプロジェクトや機関で活躍できる人材の育成を目的とした修士プログラムです。2年間で行っています。9月、新学期です。場所は、さっき話してたディジョン、Université de Bourgogne が担当されている大学です。講義については、すべての講義が英語で行われています。一つだけ、Culture from the French Perspective がフランス語で行っていますが、それに関しては、すごく先生が授業がフランス語でしても、様々な書類とか資料とかが英語でありますので、もうフランス語に自信のない方でも全然いけますので、ぜひご確認ください。では、そのマスタープログラムの目的といったら、文化分野における国際パートナーシップやプロジェクト、例えば Creative Europe の発展を通して、新しい形の文化マネジメント力を育成する。重要かつ根幹となる知識の習得、プロジェクトと文化マネジメント、文化ポリシー、異文化交流とコミュニケーション。文化に関連する分野に対する学術的理解、開放性の習得。文化社会学、文化哲学、美術史、音楽学。または、科学イノベーション思考の習得。神経科学、テクノロジーと社会やイノベーション、ネットワークに関する課題。それは、そのマスタープログラムの目的。では、そのマスタープログラムの間には、どんなスキルを手に入れるのか。文化とは、文化産業、娯楽、美術館や博物館、無形、有形、文化財を統合し常に進化する現象であると捉え、観光は地域の経済発展のため重要な要素であるという考え方を身につける。広い視点から文化機関が経済、社会、法の下どのように機能しているのかを理解する。人材、国際市場、地政学、集団的知性など。地域を個のアイデンティティとしての拠り所、同時に他の文化への入り口と捉え、保護及び宣伝活動を行う。フランス国内及び海外を問わず、多文化に関する疑問に対 に対するスキルを身につけるっていうスキルなんです。最後には文化分野、主に市民権、共通価値観、健康、イノベーションにおいて重要な社会的かつ経済的挑戦を取り扱うスキル。では、そのマスタープログラムから卒業したらどうなるんでしょう。国家、国際、ヨーロッパ文化プロジェクト推進機関のプロジェクトマネージャー、例えば政府機関、大学、またグランゼコール、研究機関、CNRS、大使館や領事館、ロビーイング企業、地域づくりや共同ポリシーの構築を目指して活動している団体、または NGO という進路です。では、学期についてはどうなるんでしょう。その2年間がまず1学期でディジョンで履修。そして2学期は留学とインターンシップ。そして3学期、ディジョンで履修。で、4学期はディジョンで履修とインターンシップというオーガナイゼーションです。それはもちろん留学とかが自分の指導教官、そのマスタープログラムのヘッドのヴェロニック・パリゾーとの自分のプロジェクトの話をして、で、普段はそれはじゃあ、それは例えばブラジルの博物館に関してしたいと思ったら、ブラジルとのつながり、あるいは彼女の同僚と話で、その時にはあそこの留学ができると。はい、マスタープログラム以外のものは、その他、フランスで勉強するということは2年間でフランス語に触れることになります。加えて、フランス語以外のヨーロッパ言語も学べる機会を得られます。語学クラスはすべて無料で受講できます。なので、もしもちろん英語で勉強していて、で、フランスで勉強するんですけど、例えばすごくイタリア語とかスペイン語とかに興味がある方が、大学での授業も取れるんですので、すごくお得です。では、そのマスタープログラムの特徴といったら、キーワードが本当に文化革新、イノベーションですね。多文化、多人類のヨーロッパにおいて新しいテクノロジーと時事的観点を踏まえた持続可能な開発目標によって導かれる無限の可能性と。学びの2本柱で支えられた実践的な2年間の修士プログラム。それは理論研究と実践、応用スキル。例えば卒業課題として、プロジェクトを欧州委員会に発表する。大学が持っている専門家のネットワークを生かした没入型プログラムです。で、最後には、奨学金制もあります。はい。ピースのマスタープログラムに関しては、それは以上です。で、次が、もう一つのマスタープログラムを紹介したいと思います。それはマスター Rare Book and Digital Humanities。気候本とデジタル人文学。基本情報と言ったら、プログラムについて先の進路または研究のため、本の専門知識及びデジタル技術を学ぶことを目的とした修士プログラム。それも2年間で9月新学期です。場所が今度はブザンソン、Université de Franche-Comtéが担当されている大学です。で、講義については英語は 80% でフランス語 20%。ピースのマスタープログラムの同じくフランス語の授業があってもすごく先生たちがそれは学生たちが結構インターナショナルの 学生たちが多いんですので、彼らに向いているフランス語の授業をするんですので、もうそこもご安心ください。はい。では、目的といったら、紀行本とデジタル文学の修士課程は、紀行本及び交渉について、図書出版販売業、図書の保存、デジタル化に関する高いレベルの知識習得を目的としている。加えて、デジタル文学の専門家としてデジタル化の監修、オンラインアクセス、3D プロジェクトなども扱う人材を育成する。スキルといったら、紀行本及び交渉に関する科学的、専門的知識を習得する。講義の文化及び本の分野や書き物の文化に関して精通した知識を身につける。またはコンピューターサイエンスに関する理論的かつ実践的知識を習得する。図書出版販売業、オークションハウス、図書館、美術館、博物館、その他文化的景観において国際レベルで活躍できるおよび現代語に関する一般的かつ実践的知識を習得するっていうスキルです。学期については、2年間はこういう感じです。1学期はブザンソンで立修。2学期はブザンソンで立修、インターンシップ。それは、小さなインターンシップです。普段、2ヶ月。3学期はブザンソンで立修。で、4学期はインターンシップを6ヶ月です。それはフランスだけではなくて、もう海外でもできます。もし、興味ある方が、日本でも可能です。進路といったら、紀行本販売、図書館や美術館、博物館の鑑賞、国際的。文化機関のデジタル化プロジェクト責任者。紀行本及び交渉の専門家。博士号、PhD。フランス国外で学ぶ場合、共通指導教官制を取ることが可能。デジタル文学、英語とオングロフォン研究、スペイン語、イタリア語、ラテンアメリカ研究、比較文化、歴史学、美術史っていうフィールド。特徴といったら、本とコンピューターサイエンスの知識を理論的かつ実践的に融合したヨーロッパ内でも類を見ないユニークな修士プログラムです。普段は本当に紀行本かコンピューターサイエンスですけど、両方合わせているマスタープログラムは実に珍しいです。国際的本の分野において有効な幅広いスキルを習得が可能。コロナ禍でも非常に活発な本市場です。それはこの前のマスタープログラムのヘッドと話したら、実はコロナでロックダウンをした国が多くて、で結局自分の図書館、本が欲しい人が多くなりました。で、その時には、特にその市場が、すごくリクエストが多かったんですので、すごく経済が良かったです。または、奨学金制度もあり、年間は8000ユーロまでいけます。その他と言ったら、紀行本とデジタル人文学を専攻している学生たちは、ソーシャルネットワークで、精力的で活動しています。例えば、Facebook のページがあります。 と、または彼らが大学のウェブサイトもありますので、もうそれはFacebook は特に生徒たちが本当に自分でやっていますので、すごくコミュニティとしてはボンドが強いです。ぜひご確認ください。はい。では、最後にはブルゴーニュ・フランシュコンテ地方コロナ対策についてちょっと話したいと思います。はい、政府は夜間外出禁止令が6月30日までというスケジュールです。または、ワクチン接種のスタートは遅れたが、現在は接種ペースが大幅に増加です。または、パリや大都市と比べ、ブルゴーニュ・フランシュコンテ地方は感染者の数が少ないです。実はですね、今、一つ目の点に関しては、昨日から博物館とカフェのテラスがまた開いています。今まではもうすべてが閉まってたんですので、もうすごく文化の生活が戻っている感じと言えます。はい。最後にはちょっと追加情報です。さっきはちょっと10年間日本に住んで、で、またはフランスで、または特にディジョンで勉強してた留学生とかと話す機会があったんですので、ちょっと彼らの経験を使って、ディジョンとブゾンソンのいいところは何でしたかっていうことを、ちょっと聞いてみたんです。生活情報はすごく来たんですね。まずは、日本料理がいろんなところで買えます。食べられます。なので、それはもし、留学の途中でもうすごくホームシックになっている方がいれば、ぜひ、いろいろなところで、日本料理が買えます。食べられますので。例えば私は先週はちょっと味の素の冷凍餃子を買ったんですので、すごくその10年間の思い出が来たんですので。はい。または日本人夫婦とか、日本人が開いたレストランもいます。で、ぜひ、それも、ちょっと長年ディジョンに住んでいる日本人との話がしたいときには、コミュニティがあります。ディジョンに住んでいる人たちは、ディジョンの博物館が無料です。なので、もうぜひ自分は授業がないときには、もうディジョンに住んでたら博物館は無料で入れますので、それもすごくお得です。路面電車はとても便利。大学から中心地までは15分。で、その下にあるマップが、実は左の方はディジョンのトラムウェイのやつと、右がボゾンソンのマップです。ご覧の通り、すごく簡単なレールウェイですので、もう全然迷うことはないと思います。最後には、小さなスーパーが数年前より増えました。大学の周りにもいくつあります。もちろんコンビニのレベルではないんですが、すごくまたは前と比べたらすごく便利になりましたので、本当に授業以外の毎日生活がとても簡単です。はい。それは以上になりますので、ご不明な点や質問がございましたら、お気軽にお問い合わせください。お待ちしております。pourquoi utiliser l'anglais à PIS? En fait,すみません、突然、フランス語になってたんですけど、 両方使えるんでしょうかね。すいません。じゃあ、ピースに戻ります。すいません。いろいろな情報が同時に来て。はい。そのすべてのマスタープログラムが英語で行っています。なので、それは他の、大学のプログラムがすべてが英語の名前が使われています。Rare Book と Digital Humanities も同じです。でも、教えている先生たちがフランス人もいます。はい。ぜひもし何かの質問とか、本当にプログラムについてとか、または毎日生活についての質問があれば、もう遠慮せず。知っておきたいこととか。英語レベルはどの、必要ですか。はい。すべてのマスタープログラムは、英語の B2 が必要です。で、または入試というより、書類なんです。で、期間と言ったら、普段は2月から5月までの間です。なので、今はちょうど、だいたい終わっている感じですね。B2 と言ったら、TOEIC も TOEFL も、何でも大丈夫ですね。IELTS も大丈夫です。でもさすがに、英検は、例えばそれはないと思います。けど、TOEIC か TOEFL と IELTS は大丈夫だと思います。先行の成績書を提出すると思いますが、成績が良くない、入学できない条件はありますでしょうか。そうですね。成績のことが、非常に難しいことですよね。それぞれの国が、違う、成績の付け方がありますので、普段、その成績が来ると、私たちがちょっとじゃあ、それは日本のコンテキストを思ったら、どんな感じでしょうか。または、もちろん、国だけじゃなくて、大学によって、いろいろ違いがありますので、 そこはなんか普段成績っていうより、もちろん成績が大事ですが、マスタープログラムのヘッドたちは普段もっとなんか自分のプロジェクトがどんな感じでしょう。そこは、非常に、大切にされていますので、例えばなんか本当に自分がそのプログラムを始まってもうただフランスで勉強したかっただけって言ったらさすがに軽いんですけど、例えばその後自分がすごくなんかヨーロッパの文化の世界についてはすごくなんかいろいろなアイディアがあってぜひそれを使いすごく知識を身につけるように入りたいと思いますのが、もっとなんかそのマスタープログラムのヘッドは詳しくそのプロジェクトを説明したらどんな感じで協力できるのかという話です。でもなんか成績が普段マスタープログラムの方々と話してちょっとなんか日本ではその成績はどんな感じっていうことは必ず話すんですので、もう自分の成績だけでもう無理と思わないでください。だから一つを、ことを加えたら、大学生たちは普段すごくなんかインターナショナルの、生徒た学生たちです。ので、なんかもう結構フランス語はあまり喋れない人もいます。どうせなんかフランス語のレベルが書類の中にはなんか見てないんですので、それはもう本当に選抜と言ったら英語がメインです。でも、みんながそういうことを言っているんですが、フランスで2年間にいますので、ぜひフランス語のフランス語を学べる機会になりますので、ぜひ。ので失礼いたします。技術処理の中で、同期書や今までの経歴を説明して、先生が許可したら入学できるっていうことで間違いないでしょうか。また、入学の際に、経歴や動機を話すためのインターンシップもあるということでしょうか。ピースというマスターは、特に、熊本さんは、熊本さんどうぞ、もし、お返事。合格倍率はどれぐらいでしょうかと言ったら、マスタープログラムによってです。で、特に、ピースというマスタープログラムはものすごく人気です。普段100人ぐらいが、アプライするんですけど、マスタープログラムの中には12人しか、入れないんですので。考古学にしても勉強することが。考古学は、それはなんかマスタープログラムの、ピースの、メインっていうことはちょっと違いますね。またはなんかプロジェクトによっては、ちょっとなんかつながりができます。 そこはなんか本当に自分のプロジェクトはどんなふうに、どういうふうに思っているのかっていうのは、多分、ベロニック・パリゾ、マスタープログラムのヘッドのと直接に話したら、良いと思います。でも、もし、それはもっと詳しく、話をいただければ、ぜひ、私までに、E メールを送ってください。その時には、ちょっとなんか、ベロニック・パリゾとの話をして、で、また返事ができます。大学の専攻と全く違うマスターの専攻を学ぶは可能ですか？ですよね。ピースのマスタープログラムは結構、すごいなんか文化と言ったら、いろいろな、フィールドから来ている人たちですので、そこはなんかあんまり、もう、その専門ではなかったらもう無理っていうことはないんですね。本当にプロジェクトについては、自分は今までの勉強はどういうふうにつながっているのかっていうことを大事にされています。または、なんかレアブックは、もっとなんか人文学の人に向いています。言語の資格は有効期限がある場合、カンディダチューの時点が有効期限があれば、問題ないでしょうか？それとも、入学時9月、10月に切れているでしょうか？意味ないでしょうか？普段は、その有効期限のことがあるんですけど、カンディダチューの時が大事だと思います。普段なんか夏休みはもちろんみんながゆっくりするんですけど、突然英語は全て忘れることはあまりないと思いますので、本当にカンディダチューの時ぐらいには大丈夫です。すみません。なんかさっきの質問に戻りますが、失礼いたします。提出書類の中で成績書や今までの履歴や説明した大学や先生が可能でしたら入学できる。それはなんかちょっと話をしてたんですけど、選抜がありますので、そこはなんかもちろん自分の成績とプロジェクトが、興味深いということは、あるんですけど、もちろんなんか12人しか入れないんですので、そこはわからないところが、他の、キャンディデートがどんなプロジェクトを出したのでしょうかっていうことを、あるんですよね。変数としては、もう、絶対、入学っていうことは、できないんですよね。それに、インタビューが、あります。そこはなんか、すべての、ステップバイステップを確認しなきゃいけないんですけど、そこは、インタビューがあります。もう一度、なんかもし、すべての、ステップはご興味ある方が、ウェブサイトにはなんかありますね。そこにはなんかwww.ubfc.fr に、説明されています。英語とフランス語両方とも。観光学が、さっきの話してたと思いますが、できないことはないんですけど、少し、ピースのマスタープログラムのフォーカスに少しずれています。 でも、そこはなんか本当にベロニック・パリゾーとの話をしたら、プロジェクト自体はどうなるんでしょうかっていうことは、どういうふうに一緒に働けるのかっていう話も可能ですので、ぜひ、私までに、ちょっとメールで送ったら、それはベロニック・パリゾーに直接に聞けます。気軽に、ぜひ。あとは数分の、もうまだありますので、もう本当になんかちょっとなんか恥ずかしいかどうかはわからないんですけど、ぜひ、遠慮せず、質問をどうぞ。今後ですので、メールは、今の、スクリーンシェアリングの下の、international@ubfc.fr です。このなんかでも、その観光の話をしたら、確か、観光学については、ちょっとなんか、ベロニック・パリゾーからも、聞きました。確かになんか、前にはなんか他の学生さんがそれとのつながっているプロジェクトがあったんですので、そこはなんか彼女は全然できないことはない。本当になんかプロジェクトの内容はどうかどうかを見たら、どうせ例えばなんかヨーロッパでのイベントとか観光とつながっていることはもちろん多いんですので、そこはなんかもう結構いろいろできると思います。またはなんかこの前の見せた動画をぜひ見てください。本当になんかディジョンとブザンソンもすごく素敵な観光スポットですので、本当にいろいろができると思います。
アルベールさん、ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございました。
いろいろ質問も来てよかったです。
すみません、なんかひどい日本語で
いえいえ、とても流暢で皆さんとても聞きやすかったと思います。
もっと頑張らないとですね。
日本語でいっぱいご質問があったんだと思います。それでは、今日は本当にありがとうございました。
はい、ありがとうございました。
17時からはグルノーブルアルプ大学のプレゼンテーションになります。Bonjour l'équipe Grenoble Alpes.
Hi, hello. Bonjour.
Je vous laisse donc la parole.
Parfait, je vous remercie. Je vais commencer à partager mon écran.
Bon courage.
Merci. Hello, everybody. I'm very pleased to be with you today, and I would like to thank Campus France Japan for this opportunity. First, let me introduce myself. I am Mathilde Giroux. I work at the International Office of Université de Grenoble Alpes as a Promotion and Internationalization Manager. I will start this presentation with a brief introduction of Université Grenoble Alpes. Short name is UGA, and I will use this acronym during this presentation. Then you will have a specific presentation of 3 programs dedicated to our international students, a diploma in legal studies presented by my colleague Véran Ejarian-Kana. Then my other colleague, Sandrine Vernet, will present a program in politics and international study, and also a master's diploma in European governments. If you have any question, please use the question box and we will either answer it live or give you a written answer. First, let me say a few words about Grenoble. Grenoble is at the heart of Europe. It is well connected to major cities such as Paris, 3 hours, Lyon, only 1 hour, and Geneva, less than 2 hours. Those 3 cities have international airports, just so you know, so you can travel also outside of France and outside of France. So this is also a dynamic city which hosts many students and international people. UGA has close ties to Grenoble exciting world of international business. Our campus facilities place us right in the center of cutting-edge industry and research and development. Now I will give you some an introduction about the UGA. So there are more than 60,000 students at the UGA, and including more than 3,000 PhD students. 45% of them are international. I will give you now some information about UGA and international ranking. According to the Shanghai ranking, UGA is one of the 100 best world university and is the first French university in 7 subjects. UGA brings together all of the public higher education forces in Grenoble since 2020. We have a graduate school of engineering and management called Grenoble. We have a school of political studies called Sciences Po Grenoble, a school of architecture called ENSAG, a faculty of sciences, a faculty of humanities, health, sports, and societies, and a university school of technology. We are a comprehensive university and we offer a wide range of programs dedicated to undergraduate and postgraduate students. We have courses on every discipline, at the exception of 2, which are archaeology and veterinary. We offer more than 70 international programs taught in English in various disciplines. As I said earlier, 3 programs will be presented to you in a few minutes. 1 in law and 2 others in political sciences. We welcome also international students for joint PhD dissertation. And as I said, more than 45% of them are international students. We also offer short programs such as summer school. One of them is dedicated to mountains and climate change, and it's called Mountain in Changing World. We also offer modern facilities and educational methods such as flipped classroom, learning by doing platform, etc. We provide also dedicated services for students with specific needs. We have dedicated activities such as orientation activities, language and culture classes dedicated to exchange students so that we make your integration easier. The International Students and Scholars Office, ISO, is a welcome center dedicated to you. It can help you and inform you during your stay and for all your settling in procedures and everyday life practical matters. They will give you advice and help you with accommodation, visa validation, residence permit, budgets, insurance, health, leisure, etc. Grenoble is one of the best student cities in France. We have sport infrastructures, of course. We have an Olympic swimming pool, climbing walls, sports halls and grounds. We have also cultural infrastructures with 2 theaters that are directly on campus. We also have many art pieces that are on campus, and we offer a broad program of cultural events. Persons with disability can play too. We have a program called Sport on the U, which offers team and individual activities adapted to include everyone. There is also an association run by students dedicated to welcoming international students. It's called Intègre. They offer many activities such as student mentoring program, language duos, campus and city tours, etc. On this slide, you will find several useful links. First, a link if you are interested in learning French. You can learn French at QF, University Center for French Studies. So this is the first link you have to click if you are interested in this topic. Then, if you want to study at UGA and follow a program taught in English, you have a second web link that you can use and consult. The third link is the academic catalog. It gathers every courses that are taught at the UGA. Then, the last one gives you information about how to apply. I invite you to learn more about the UGA by watching 3 short videos that are, the link are here in the slide. I am convinced that after watching those videos, you will be willing to join us at the UGA. Just so you know, if we have a bit of time at the end, we will show you the video. Otherwise, you will have the slide and you will be able to consult them at home. I will now let my colleague Vera Nejarian-Kana present the diploma in legal studies. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mathilde, for giving me the floor. I would like also to thank Campus France to give me the opportunity to welcome you at the Faculty of Law of Grenoble. The Faculty of Law of Grenoble, it is about 4,000 students, more than 15 master's degree, which covers all fields of law, and it's a long tradition of receiving international students. So I am Veran Nejarian-Kana, Associate Professor in European Law, and I am the Academic Director of the Diploma in Legal Studies that I'm pleased to present you today. The Diploma in Legal Studies is a one-year diploma completely taught in English. For more than 10 years now, the diploma has been welcoming students from Europe and all around the world. And we were very pleased to welcome some students from Kobe University few years ago. And next year we will welcome one student from the University of Waseda, Tokyo. So we are very happy to present this diploma to you today. The diploma covers various fields of law, French law, of course, private law, public law, and French law will be always studied in a comparative approach. It will give you also a deep knowledge in international law and European law. For example, you will study European business law, you will study international contract law, and the diploma tries to give you some specific knowledge in link with the expertise of our teachers. For instance, you will be able to study law of biodiversity, fundamental rights. What else to say about the diploma? The diploma is organized in small groups rather than in a large group session. Well, you will be around 15 students. So the teachers like to develop interactive teaching methods, mock international or European negotiation, mock trial, for example. Also, the diploma is dedicated, however, the diploma is dedicated to international students. The diploma tries to promote intercultural relations with French students. You will be able to attend English courses shared with French students. And the diploma organized also different activities. For example, a study trip, a 1-week study trip to visit European institutions in Brussels with Master's 2 students specialized in European law. So really, we try to make you experiment the French way of study and the French way of life, and we do not want you to be isolated. So we are very careful about this. You will have a solid knowledge in law, but also we try to develop really intercultural relations. To apply, you must have an advanced level in English, B2 level, considering the European certification. French language, of course, is not a criteria, but you will be able to learn French as well. You must have at least completed 2 years of a law degree. However, if you are not enrolled in a law degree, we can take into consideration your application because we are very careful to consider your academic and your personal background and your motivation to study law. For example, students in political science are welcome, can be selected. And last year, an engineer student from India joined the diploma according to his flexibility and his strong interest in law. Your application can be received until April. However, if you are interested this year in the diploma, please feel free to contact me directly. You can use the email address, the general email address mentioned in the slide. Finally, I would say that the diploma cost 1,200 euro for 1 year, with an extra of 500 euros if you want to attend the Brussels trip. Well, I think I've mentioned the main aspects. So of course, if you have any question, I will be pleased to answer them later. Thank you for your attention. And now I'm happy that you will discover with Mrs. Vernet, Political Sciences at Sciences Po Grenoble. Thank you.
Thank you, Veran. Konnichiwa. Hello, everyone. Hello again. I'm very happy to be with you today, thanks to Campus France. Once again, I would like to thank you for all this nice organization. I hope that you're safe. We know how difficult it is these times for you, so we are with you. Let me introduce myself. I am Sandrine Vernet. I work for the School of Political Studies from Grenoble Alpes University, which is also known as Sciences Po Grenoble, as Mathilde talked to you earlier. Today, I'm going to present you 2 other programs totally taught in English. Maybe first, just a few words about Sciences Po Grenoble. Our diploma is in 5 years, and the access is only by a competitive exam. You can apply before the 1st year of the diploma or before the 4th year of the diploma, which is in fact the 1st year of the master's degree. Well, may I start with our Politics and International Studies program. I confess that I feel really excited to present it to you today because it's quite new. Actually, it will open for the first time in next September. So this is the first time that I can present this program in front of students. So thank you for being here. This program is a 5-year degree program, 3-year undergraduate, which is no diploma delivered at this step because you have to add 2 other graduate program years. This Politics and International Studies program is dedicated to our international students. As a brief overview, I can say that the 1st and the 3rd years, you will stay in Sciences Po Grenoble. You will follow mandatory and elective courses in English. but you will have the opportunities to study some French taught courses depending on your level. You will also have a lot of French as foreign language classes because it's really important for your integration, for example, just like Varen said earlier. And we don't forget the last important thing to study in proper conditions. You will have mandatory sport classes, indoor, but also outdoor in our beautiful mountains. The second year is abroad in one of our numerous partner universities. And after that, you will have access to one of our 20 different graduate programs. I have to say that most of our master's degrees are in French, unfortunately, but one is totally in English, and we are going to talk about it a little bit later. You will have programs in international issues, public administration, and all the things that you can see here: management, market research and opinion polls, political and institutional communication, social entrepreneurship, environmental transition, etc. For all the details for this program, please go and visit this link on our web pages. Thank you. And now let's talk about a little bit about the requirements of this politics and international studies program. Non-French citizenship, so that just for you. A high school qualification. You are asked to have upper intermediate English level. So that's to say, just like my colleague said before, it's a B2 plus level. And a familiarity with French would be appreciated, but it's not mandatory to speak French. The application has closed, unfortunately, just a couple of weeks ago, but it will be open for the next round next year. So 2 steps. The first one is an application with a personal statement, a CV in English, a Word essay, etc. And it's from mid-February to the end of April. And the step 2 is an interview with our specialists. If you have any question, please don't hesitate to send an email to the contact that you can see in this slide, and we will do our best to give you the answers. Now, let's talk about our master's diploma in European governance. First of all, the access can be at 2 levels, either after 3 years of the politics and international studies program, actually, or by a competitive exam if you already have completed 180 ECTS in any field of human and social sciences. It's not mandatory to have a bachelor's degree in political sciences. The degree prepares you to become specialists in the European Union, its functioning and its activities, and to get knowledge and skills that are useful in any body with a European dimension at a local, national, or European, and of course, international level. You will have numerous opportunities to get very good jobs in the public and the private sectors after this diploma. For the brief overview of these 2 years, they are totally taught in English. We already know it. The first year of the master's degree, you will have classes in history, law, economy, and political science of the European Union, pre-finalization process, study of regional integration. You will have the opportunity to make a short internship, and you will have a lot of professional exercises. The second year of the master's degree, you will have analysis of mobilizations, participations, and European governance through the study of decision-making within the EU. You will have, again, one more time, a lot of professional exercises, meetings with European professionals, and a long internship in the second year of the master's degree. And thank you, Mathilde. And to finish, a few words about the requirements. You are asked to have completed, as I just said, 180 ECTS in any discipline with a bachelor's level. A passive A2, B1 level in French would be appreciated, but once again, it's not mandatory at all. But it's better for you maybe to feel more integrated at the first beginning when you just arrived in Grenoble. Once again, 2 steps to apply. The step 1 is the application form, including a report. And the second step is an interview with our specialized panel. What about the application calendar? It is actually from mid-March to mid-May every year, and maybe you can have a lot of details for the application and for the calendar and for all the classes. Please go and visit the web pages that you can see here. And if you want any further detail, you can also, of course, contact directly my colleague who is in charge of this program at this contact that you can see here. Maybe just a last thing to underline before finish. If you want to apply before the 4th year of any of our master's degrees in Sciences Po Grenoble, you will be able to apply for an FL Excellence Scholarships launched every year by Campus France in October. So that's really nice for you to be able to do your studies in the best conditions. And unfortunately, there is no financial grant for the moment for our new 5-year program that I presented in first, but we are working on it actually. Well, I'm done with this presentation. I hope that these details will be helpful for you. I stay at your disposal with my colleagues to answer to your questions. I wish you good luck in your project, and take care. Thank you for your attention. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Thank you very much for this presentation and attending this presentation especially. Arigato. If you have any question, please ask them in the question box. We have a question from Sandrine. If you want, you can answer it live or you can write an answer. Do you want me to read it? Yeah, okay. Can non-French citizen students start from Master 1 in Sciences Po Grenoble after graduating from country university undergraduate degree?
Yes. Of course, you can, if you have a bachelor's degree, an equivalent of a master's degree in your own country. Yes, of course.
Thank you, Sandrine.
With pleasure. And maybe just to add for the answer, you will have in this case to pass the competitive exam, as I just said earlier. That's the just condition.
I will perhaps share one of the videos so that you can have some time to write your answer. Just give me a minute just to connect.
Ceci est une feuille de papier. Et avec une simple feuille de papier, on peut inventer de belles histoires. Comme Zoé, qui s'imagine conquérir de beaux royaumes. Et avec une banale couverture, Hugo devient un super-héros. Et puis on grandit. Et selon nos parcours, nos rencontres, nos choix, ces rêves ne se réalisent pas toujours. La feuille de papier redevient une feuille de papier. Et la couverture, une couverture. À l'Université Grenoble-Alpes de 2020, vous pourrez oser et réaliser vos rêves. L'ambition de la nouvelle université Grenoble-Alpes, la voilà. Former des citoyens éclairés et des futurs professionnels socialement responsables, audacieux et ouverts sur le monde. Offrir à ces personnels un travail épanouissant, favorisant la progression de chacun, la créativité, le bien vivre ensemble et respectant la diversité. S'inscrire dans l'esprit pionnier de son territoire. Et développer une société entreprenante, plus juste, plus économe en ressources. Et enfin, intensifier les partenariats avec les entreprises et les collectivités pour proposer des compétences répondant à leurs besoins. Pour que Zoé invente un jour sur sa feuille de papier la ville du futur. Et pour que Hugo suive son chemin de sauveur. Une université reconnue sur le plan international, attractive, ancrée dans son territoire, moteur de développement. Une formation favorisant l'esprit critique et ouvrant vers une vie professionnelle riche. Une recherche qui repousse les limites du savoir et apporte des solutions pour construire le monde de demain. Un regroupement de nos forces et de nos talents pour répondre aux enjeux du XXIe siècle. C'est la nouvelle université Grenoble-Alpes.
I hope you were able to watch it properly. I'm not really sure. I hope it worked. In the chat box, you will find the 3 links for the videos if you are interested. As well, I will also add the link from the slide with information in one moment. Here you are. We have another question in the chat box. What sports does the university offer? Do all courses have mandatory physical activity class? So first, we have a very broad offer of sports. We have many of them. We have football, we have tennis, we have swimming lessons. We have, what can I say? Rugby, almost everything, I think. If you have a specific sport that you would like to attend, please let me know. Also, do we have a mandatory physical activity class? Usually, this is not the case. I think it will depend on which program you will study, but usually it's like an option or at leisure time.
I just have sent a link for the dedicated web pages for all the sports that you can practice with the University of Grenoble-Alpes.
Thank you, Sandrine.
Thank you. Yeah, the link will also concern the diploma in legal studies. And within the diploma, you are able to practice sport, of course, but as Mathilde told you, it's not mandatory. It's an optional course. Indeed, I didn't specify that you have to follow 7 courses for each semester, compulsory courses, and you can add 2 courses each semester. And you can choose for these optional courses, sport or any course in English or in French. So you can broaden your prospect in law, but also in other subjects, for example, political sciences, history, art historian, art history, or whatever. And sports is within the optional courses. And you can pick any sport you like. And of course, you can pick ski as well.
Yes, just to add, we are maybe just I think it's about 30 minutes from the ski resorts, from the campus. So it's really appreciated by all our students to go skiing in the weekend or during the week with other students, and especially in these classes that can be dedicated to the ski too. Also in Sciences Po Grenoble, we can do it, and that's really, really nice.
Also, just so you know, wherever you are in Grenoble, you will have a view of one of the three mountain chains. There are three mountains. Yeah, we can see it on our background here. So it's a very nice scenery. It's very, very, very pretty, especially in winter when you have snow on tops of the mountains. That's right. We have another question related to French courses. So I will write the answer, and also, especially, I will give you a web link that you will have the information.
Yes, maybe I can add. For in the diploma in legal studies, it is possible to pick a French course in law, but also it is possible to follow 24 hours of French lessons at the QF to learn French at your level. So you can be beginner or you can be advanced student, whatever. And it is possible to include the course within the program as an optional course. And until now, the law department supports students to study and paid for the course until now. It might change, but well, there is a real policy to encourage international students to learn French and then to promote French in their home country.
Yes, and if I may just add to Veran's words, in Sciences Po Grenoble, it's the same. We are very, very open to this French as a language, foreign language classes. So we offer you free of charge classes at the first beginning of each semester for an intensive, week. For these classes, and then it's about I think it's 2 hours per week during the whole semester, and that's for free because it's a very important thing for us to make it easier for you.
So if you are interested in learning French, you have in the chat box the link for QF where you can learn French. They have many different courses in order to teach French on at different levels. So please go to the web link. You will find more information. Please do not hesitate to contact us and to ask us some question. We are here to give you all the answers we can, and if we have not the answers right now, we will give it to you later. So if we have some time, perhaps we can see another of the videos. I hope this time it will work properly. Let's hope so. Just 1 minute, just to make sure it works.
しました。チューズフランス、ウェビナーシリーズ4日目、人文社会学、法学をテーマにした1日、4回目を迎えます。あと2時間ですけれども、お付き合いいただければと思います。で、18時からは、トゥール大学のプレゼンテーションになります。Bonjour, l'Université de Tours. Je vous laisse la parole pour votre présentation.
Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup.
Bon courage.
Thank you very much. I speak in English. Well, ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, I'm very happy to be here. And I'm delighted and very honored to participate in this webinar. And I would like to thank the French Embassy and Campus France for organizing this event. And also thank the students and colleagues, perhaps, who have joined us today. Let me start by introducing ourselves. We are three from the Faculty of Law of Tours to present our masters, our bachelors, our researches. And let me introduce myself. I'm a PhD professor of public law, specializing in European Union law at the Tours Law School. I'm also the director of the Institute for Interdisciplinary Legal Researches, and I lead to the Nihon Europa Research Network. It's a very important network I founded 5 years ago, and I will talk about this network in few minutes. Let me introduce to my colleague Emmanuel Aubin. He is a PhD professor of public law too at Tours Law School, of course, and he's professor of administrative law and social law. And together, Emmanuel Aubin and I lead the Nihon Europa network. And in a few minutes, he will present to you some information about this, his researches. And finally, let me introduce my colleague Kevin Partenay. He's a PhD professor at the University of Tours, at the Faculty of Law, and professor of political sciences and vice dean for international relations at the Tours Law School, as I said. And he will talk at the end of this presentation to present his main topics and say a few words about the faculty and the international network that we have. And now, so I would like to give you information and to comment important elements according to me. And there will be 4 parts in this presentation. In a few seconds, I will share the screen to present the Faculty of Law of Tours. And the first part is about the presentation of the university and the Faculty of Law. The second part of this presentation is about studies and masters and bachelors that Japanese students can follow in this Faculty of Law. The third part of this presentation is about researches, and specifically researches in with Japan. We have many important partnerships in the framework of Nihon Europa network, as I said. And the last part is about the international attractiveness of our faculty and, of course, of the University of Tours. So let's share the screen now. Okay, so I think you have informations and you can see the slides I would like to present to you now. So you're welcome, of course, Yokoso, to the Faculty of Law and Economics and Social Sciences. First slide is a short presentation of the University of Tours at a glance, and you can find some information now. This University of Tours has been founded in 1970, as you can see, and is the largest public higher education institution in the French region Centre-Val de Loire. It's a very attractive region, Centre-Val de Loire. Probably you know that. We are in the middle of the Loire Valley, of the castles of the Loire, and Tours is located in the middle of the Loire Valley, the castles of the Loire. It's very interesting, of course, for foreign students, and many things to do in link with tourism, for example. We have around 31,510 students registered this year. And it's very important because we have many foreign students. And this year there were 3,255. I think we have only 2 Japanese students, one in literature and another one in sciences, physical sciences. 3 years ago and 2 years ago, we have 2 students from Japan in literature and in law too. The staff with around 1,200 professors and associate professors, and the technical and administrative staff around 1,300 people. We have 5 campuses, and the University of Tours, multi-site campuses throughout the city. About research, we have 36 research laboratories, and we have a budget of about 240 million euros. Now, about the Faculty of Law, also at a glance, you have some informations. We are one of the most important with medicine faculty, and we have 2,837 students in law. It's the most important. The students in law are the most important. We have also bachelors and masters in administration, 739, in management, in economics, sciences, and geography too. 7 bachelor's degrees and 23 master's degrees. And in those master, between 25 and 30 students per master's, as you can see. You can see we were ranking at the 3rd place in France for bachelors. We have been ranking 3 times at the 3rd place. The first time in 2015, and this year too, we are the 3rd best bachelor's university, specifically in law studies. Good reasons to come to Tours. As I said, it's a very attractive region among UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Here, enjoy the French art of living. University is in the heart of the city of Tours, between modernity, building, and classicism, with castles, museums. The old city in the heart of Tours is very attractive for students, with many bars and many restaurants too. And it's very easy to go from one point to another point in this city. We have tram, by bikes, by walking too. An important point to underline, we are next to Paris by bullet train in 1 hour. It's very easy to go to Paris with the train. And in 2 or 3 years, it will be possible to reach Paris in about 45 minutes. And the Tours station is located in the middle of the city, the terminus train. And we have also a tram to reach the Faculty of Law about 10 minutes. It's very, very easy and comfortable to reach the Faculty of Law. This university is a very comprehensive university, offering most of the fields of the study from bachelor's to PhD, as I said before. And we have, it's an international university with high education standards. So, second part of my presentation is about studies, and specifically studies in the Faculty of Law. Let me show you some slides about those studies. We have several bachelors in law, economics, management, economic and social administration, administration and territorial management. We have, of course, the Faculty of Law with the two main topics, private law, as in Japan, and public law, of course, private law, civil law, penalty law, tax law, and so on, and public law, administrative law, constitutional law, European law, international law, and so on. You know those topics and those matters. We have also, it's very important to underline too, a French law and German law, a combined program with the University of Bourgogne since 1994. It's an old partnership with Bourgogne University, and it's a double diploma, double bachelor, double masters. The students are in tour 1 year, they go to Germany 1 year, they come back to tour 1 year for the bachelors, and the same things for the masters. In very attractive, very, very important partnership with the Germany. Of course, many language are proposed to the students at the Faculty of Law, German law with a very high level, English law also with a high level and good professors too, Spanish and Italian language. Faculty of Economics, of course, public administration, management sciences. I would like to talk specifically about the law and our formations. So, about the masters in law after the bachelors, we have several masters, as you can see. In law, we have territorial governance, administration of local collectivities, territories, management of territories and urban environments. And it's a very good and famous masters in those old masters founded in 1990. We have another masters, very famous too, and I would like to insist about it, international European law, with European law and business and international law. Some words about the Master of European Law. This master has been founded in 1996, and this master is very famous in France, and this year we have been ranked at the 6th place in France. We are just behind the Masters of European Law from Paris, and we are one of the most important master in European studies. And in this European master, I will tell you again in a few minutes, we have very important partnerships with several universities of Japan and agreement of mobility for professors and for students, very important agreements of mobility. And is also in this master, we have the Nihon Europa network. Again, I will talk about it in a few minutes. We have a business law master with finance or work relations, and of course, classically, public law and private law. Masters in economics, management, finance, auditing, and strategic management of people and organization. So, let me give you information about a specific degree of law and political sciences, a specialization. Bachelor is the last year of the bachelor, third year. And this program is open both to French and international students. multidisciplinary legal training, legal economics, humanities, sciences, and about fundamental rights and freedoms, contemporary political issues, contemporary political theory, sociology, integration and discrimination, international political issues, political crisis and changes, contemporary social issues too. And the students are invited to conduct legal analysis and draft various types of legal documents, very attractive too and very interesting formation. And my colleague, Professor Kevin Partenay, probably will talk about it if you want, but it's very, very interesting, almost for the foreign students. Of course, you have the possibility to follow courses in English at the Faculty of Law, specifically comparative constitutional law and political institution, international criminal law, introduction to French political institution, civil rights, European legal issues, gender and the law, human rights, contractual technical, European lobbying, and give lessons on this topic. European competitive law, also I give lessons, foreign law, British American business law. We have also many other courses taught in English in other part of the university. If you're interested, I can give you later the list of all the courses taught in English. And Japanese students, foreign students can also follow, of course, the lessons in English in the Bachelor of Law or in the Masters, and they can follow two other courses in English in legal studies given in the other university, specifically in the University of Literature, sorry. Again, about our master's degree, as I said, we have a very important exchange program with Japan. I told you I founded 5 years ago in honor parliament work, and I visited Japan about 20 times, and my colleague Emmanuel Aubin 50 times, I think, and we try to know our partners. And those last years, we have signed convention agreements of mobility. As I said, those partnerships with the very famous University of Japan, this agreement are developed in the Master of European Law and the International European Law. And we have a very important partner with Chuo University, Hiroshima University, Aoyama Gakuin University, and Kobe too. And I would like to underline very important things because since for 4 years, 15 French students went to Japan. Of course, this year and the last year it was very difficult, but the last year we have 6 French students from the Master of European Law went to Japan at Chuo and Kobe University. Those students go to Japan for 1 semester, for 6 months, from April to September. And those agreements give the possibility for our students to follow courses in English, but about Japanese law, Japan law, constitutional, environmental law, tax law, and so on. And they have to also follow lessons to learn Japan at the Chuo University and Kobe University. And during this those 6 months, they have to write a little thesis. They have to write research on the topics I can give, or my colleagues at Chu or Kobe can give to the students about the relationships, for example, between European Union and Japan, or on topics specifically from Japan. Last year, we had an important field, an important work about the protection of the private life in Japan. Always those students are very good and have great pleasure to reach our partner. And we plan, not this year, probably last year, to create a double Master of European and Japanese law with Chuo University. We try to work on this agreement, and we would like also to create another double degree master, also of Master of European and Japanese law with the Kobe University. And I hope in 1 year it will be possible to organize those double masters. And in this case, French students will go to Japan 1 year, and Japanese students can come to Tours also for 1 year, and the courses will be given in in English. So, third part of my presentation is about research. Let me give you some information about research at the University of Tours, and specifically in the IRGI Laboratory, Interdisciplinary Research Institute on Legal Issues in Legal Affairs. I lead this research center. It's one of the most important research centers of the Région Centre. And we have about 130 researchers with 70 professors or associate professors. Some topics of the research themes are following: democracy, liberties, social policies, regulations and institutions in Europe, market and business, proceedings, responsibilities and territories, urban planning and real estate. The most important is this one, regulation and institution in Europe and democracy. For example, if a doctorate from Japan want to go to the Faculty of Law to prepare his doctorate, of course, can be integrated in this research center. I told you about the Nihon Europa program. As I said, I funded 5 years ago this network, and actually we have about 50 researchers, 25 French and 25 Japanese. We have many connections with many universities of Japan, Chuo, Hiroshima, Kobe, University of Tokyo. To my colleague Emmanuel Aubin will talk about that in a few minutes. And this network of researchers give us the possibility to organize 6 colloquium, symposium at the University of Tours, at the University of Tokyo, at the French parliamentary last year, and those colloquium are in English most of the time. We have a translator, a directed translator, and those colloquium try to cross the views of the French studies and Japanese studies. And for my part, I've got a specialization about the partnership between Europe and Japan competitive law, market law, tax law, and organize 3 colloquium and 1 more at the end of this year. I will try to organize another colloquium about this partnership. I would like to give, to let my colleague Emmanuel Aubin talk about his own topics. Manu.
こんばんは。こんばんは。とても、私はとても嬉しいです。To be with you. In addition to the pedagogical dimension presented by Monjal Sensei, the link between the University of Tours, IRG Laboratory and Nihon Europa with prestigious Japanese universities have been materialized in the field of research. IRG and Nihon Europa were partners in a Korean Urbert Partenariat in the field of from 2017 to 2019, dedicated to a Franco-Japanese research program on the legal and social consequences of aging in France and Japan. In the field of Nihon Europa, we have carried out numerous missions to Japan to implement cooperative ventures with researchers from prestigious universities of Japan, the University of Tokyo, the University of Kyoto, the University of Keio, Tohoku, Meiji, and Sofia. During these colloquia and workshops, we have involved students, Japanese and French, for this Japan and France, some of whom have come to Tours to participate in study days since 2014. We organized 4 colloquia with Japanese colleagues, 2 in Tours, 1 in Paris, and 1 in Tokyo, in the University of Tokyo in September 2019. Finally, we are going to organize a major France-Japan Law and Gastronomy Conference in Tours in June 2022, which will lead us to solicit colleagues and doctoral students from Japan. These scientific events, in conjunction with UNESCO, the Ministry of Culture, the city of Tours, the region and the department, give strength to our cooperation activities with Japan. And here again, we are soliciting students from Japan to choose France, and particularly Tours. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, dear colleague. Before to give, the intervention of my colleague Kevin Partney, I forgot to point out an important institution at the University of Tours, in the Center for Teaching French to foreign students. It's very important. A Japanese student can follow courses in French to acquire the language tool necessary for successful integration into our university. It's a very famous center, public center of the university, and the student can learn French. We have also another institute, private institute, very famous, very old, called Institut de Touraine. It's a private organization, and many years we have many foreign students, and specifically Japanese students, they come this institution, and they can live with a French family during 1, 2, or 3 months. And those French family, do the best to organize the life of the Japanese or foreign students with visits, tourism, and to learn French too. It's very, very important. I would like to say that. So now, Kevin Partonnet probably can you give us some information.
Yes, thank you very much to my colleagues, and it's a great pleasure to be presenting today. I say hello to all of you. I'm going to present the aspect of the international relations of the university as Vice Dean for International Relations. So I'm going to be quite brief, as I think the most interesting thing is to answer the questions at the end of our presentation. So I'm going to present mostly a wide perspective of how we are linked to the international, and we have partnership and mobility program in our university. What I can say first is that regarding the middle range size of our university, we have a very active international dimension and very active participation and presence across the world. So I don't have the hand on the PowerPoint, but maybe we can follow to the next slide, or maybe to the international. Yeah, that's that, or maybe the next one. That's perfect. Thank you very much, Pierre. With key figures. That's all right. Excellent. So I think the key figures are talking by themselves. As you can see, we have many international students in our university. Beyond the key figures, you can see that 11% of our student population is composed by foreign students. So it's great opportunities to have exchange and very wide panorama in terms of exchange between students. We have about 520 exchange students, and as you can see, 180 students in degrees set up with international partners. Regarding our students, we have also a very active and dynamic incitations to send students abroad. In 2019 and 20, before COVID era, of course, we had 780 students abroad. Actually, two more and beyond these key figures, and this refers to the next slide of the PowerPoint. Tours is definitely an international window, and the university is very part of it, as we have a consolidated presence in Europe. As you can see, we have 370 Erasmus agreements in 28 European countries, 27 actually now, with the Great Britain's fleeing the EU, and many partners, of course, in the Schengen space. And beyond Europe, we have also plenty of agreements and partnerships across the world. It's about 150 agreements out of Europe today. So this goes in hands with many other programs, more than partnerships, oriented toward the internationals. As you can see, we have one offshore curricula with the Ho Chi Minh City University of Science in Vietnam, and master degree in applied mathematics. We have also, but Pierre-Yves already presented it, so I go quickly. One politics and international relations specialization at the undergraduate level, and several offers in master degrees, 12 double degrees, and other programs in international credit mobility partnerships. So as you can see with the last slide of this PowerPoint regarding the international, our presence is very active. I stressed this point, but as you can see, it's a very extensive presence across the globe. I mentioned this consolidated presence in Europe, as you can see in this little frame, but you can also see that we are very present in terms of partnership, of course, with North America and Asia, a bit less in Latin America and Africa, but it's on my hand to push it for the following years. But actually, we have very strong partnerships in North America and Asia. We are very delighted of it. So here I am, just wanted to present this wide panorama and perspective. I will be very happy to answer any questions regarding the international relations. And I let the floor again to my colleague Pierre-Yves Mongeat. Thank you very much.
Mon audio et je vais rétablir ma vidéo. Thank you very much, dear Kevin. So I stop the sharing. Okay. Thank you very much for hearing us. I'm very happy and very glad to present you the Faculty of Law of Tours and partnership. If you have any questions, we are ready to try to give you some response, answer at your questions and answers at your questions. Alors, bonjour, au début, je vous excuse, c'est une question un peu trop personnelle, essentiellement un statut d'un employé. Alors, je fais répondre en direct. Alors, tu as la même chose que moi. Oui. Je vais m'inscrire au Master 2 dans le domaine genre sociolinguistique. J'aurais plus de 5 ans d'expérience de travail en tant que candidat travailleur. J'aimerais bien savoir s'il y a quelque chose. Comment? Ouais, alors, sociolinguistique, répondre en direct. Alors, sociolinguistique, c'est pas nous ça. Mince, comment je fais pour répondre?
Peut-être que tu sollicites notre réponse, puis moi je vais taper la réponse.
Oui. La personne nous a posé une question en français. On va vous répondre dans un instant. C'est Emmanuel Aubin qui va le faire. Oui, tout à fait. Il y a des formations à l'Université de Tours. We have some courses and masters and bachelors to masters in linguistic and sociology. I think it's possible to have a good answer to your question. You will have in few minutes, few seconds, an answer, and you can visit the site of the University of Tours. Do you have other questions about legal studies, about masters, about the Europa network? Of course, you're right. There is full of young students, of course, and I don't really know the persons of middle-aged or a bit older students. You're right. It's a young, we have many young students, but also we have at the University of Tours, university for old people, the people they don't work or are a little bit older, and they can follow many courses at the University of Tours. This formation is called the University of the Free Time, Université du temps libre en français. And many people, about 100, probably a little bit more, follow many courses. I give lessons in this formation. of course, middle-aged students or a little bit older are welcome.
If I can add just one point, we have also active people in terms of professional activity. That's right.
Oh, sorry,
So, yeah.
sorry.
No, that's all right. Don't worry. Just to answer the question, that we have also a different kind of public with professional formations in the frame of universities. So active people you may meet during your presence at the university.
Merci beaucoup pour votre présentation. Moi-même, j'ai vécu 10 ans à Tours, donc je suis particulièrement touchée de votre participation et j'espère que vous aurez beaucoup plus d'étudiants japonais sur vos campus à l'avenir. Et merci beaucoup encore pour votre participation.
Vous parlez un français de Tours remarquable.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much.
皆様ご参加ありがとうございました。そうしましたら、続いて19時から、パリ第二大学、パンテオンアサスのプレゼンテーションが始まりますので、15分の休憩を挟んで、皆様をまた19時からお待ちしておりますので、encore merci beaucoup pour l'Université de Tours et à une prochaine fois.
It was a great pleasure. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup. Au revoir.
Au revoir. 皆様、キャンパスフランスが、主催しているチューズフランスウェビナー、4日目、人文社会学、法学をテーマにした1日となっています。最後、19時からパリ第二大学パンテオンアサスからのプレゼンテーションとなります。ご質問は Q&A のボックスから、随時受付しております。日本語でも日本語でいただいてもこちらで翻訳させてお伝えさせていただきますので、ぜひいろんなご質問をしていただければと思います。Bonjour. Donc, je vous laisse la parole. Bon courage pour votre webinaire.
Merci beaucoup. So welcome everyone. So we are the Sorbonne-Assas International Law School of Paris 2 Panthéon-Assas University in France. And I am Nora Caris. I am coordinator of administrative and financial affairs for the International Law School. And I am with my colleague, Bussy Chan from Singapore. Do you want to say a few words, Bussy, before we start?
Hi, everyone.
So I will be sharing my screen. Just a second. Here you are. As I said, the International Law School is part of the Université Paris 2 Panthéon-Assas. In France, it is a quite well-known university because it is the #1 law school university in France. It is the descendant of the first university in Paris, founded in the 12th century. So we have a very, very long history of teaching and of teaching law. We have also programs in other fields such as political sciences, management, economy, but our specialty is really law. So this is important because if you participate in the program at the Sorbonne-Assas International Law School, you will have a degree awarded from Paris 2 University. It's quite a large university, but we're not really talking about that. We want to talk to you about the International Law School, which takes place on 4 campuses in Dubai, Mauritius, Singapore, and Paris. Today, we will mostly talk about our programs in Singapore and in Paris, because statistically,
almost all Japanese students are interested in those two campuses. But of course, if you have questions about the Mauritius or the Dubai campus, please feel free to ask questions as well. It's not a problem, but the presentation is not going to concentrate on those two campuses. So overall, the International Law School offers an LLM International Business Law degree, which is the one we will mostly talk about today. We also have, and this LLM is offered on our 4 campuses. We also have an LLB Bachelor of Law, which is only offered as of today on the Dubai and the Mauritius campus. So it's an undergrad program. And we have executive programs and summer winter schools at the Singapore campus. It's quite a young international law school. We've been active for a few years only. We have about 150 graduates a year, but it's growing every year. So as of today, we have probably around 400 or 500 alumni, and they're usually coming from a quite wide range of nationalities. So especially on the Singapore and the Paris campus, it's usually a very diverse cohort. We have students from 10 or 15 different countries in one year cohort. So I will let my colleague Bussy talk to you a little bit more about the LLM program.
Okay, first of all, I would like to stress that the programs that we are presenting you are all taught in English. So the International Law School will provide all courses in English language. The LLM in International Business Law is covering 10 different modules, which are the compulsory modules, and which are listed on the screen. We do have a bit of specificity in Dubai campus. Some modules have been changed, but more or less the content is the same whichever campus you decide to join. There's one of the things that you need to know about these modules is that they are taught by a professor from Paris, as well as a professor from the local campus. So that means if you were to join this program in Paris, you'll be taught by 2 professors, one from Paris and a professional, a law practitioner from Paris region. And if you were to do this in Singapore, for instance, you would get a professor from Paris and you would get a professional lecturer from a Singapore region. All right. Besides these 10 modules, which are focused on business law, there's an 11th module, which is optional and is taught by the INSEAD professors. And this is only on Singapore and Paris campus. We have listed here that the intakes are coming up in October for Paris and Singapore. We are following the European academic year, which runs from October until end of June. Right. Next slide. Okay. So our LLM program is open to professionals. I would say that you require at least 4 years of law studies, and alternatively, you may have a degree in another area, but 4 years of working experience. So it's not limited to lawyers to be or experienced lawyers. It's open to other professions as well. So yeah, as mentioned, the classes are taught in evening in Singapore, and Paris would be on the daytime in the afternoon. And we also incorporate students from the French bar schools. They can join the Singapore and the Mauritius campus. Right. I think there's another thing that we can mention, but I will go specifically on each campus from now on, and we'll be able to delve into the details of what are the particularity of each of the campuses.
So I will talk a little bit more about the Paris campus. So why choose the Paris campus? It's not why choose the Paris campus over the other campuses, but why Paris in general. So of course, I think that we don't have to sell Paris as a touristic destination. Everybody knows that Paris is one of the most beautiful cities in the world. It's a very friendly, student-friendly city. We have a lot of students because there is a lot of universities. It is also quite close to other European capitals or great cities. So when you come to Paris, you during your 9 months or maybe a year here, you can also visit the rest of Europe. So it's a really nice place to stay for your studies, but also because France is the birthplace of civil law. Civil law derives from the Napoleon Code. So this university has seen the birth of civil law. So it's historically interesting to study here. Also because it's one of the most important capital of the world. There is a lot of business networking opportunities. Usually the practitioners who are going to teach the practical parts of each of the courses, as Bussy explained, are working for international law bureau. Anyways, so law firms, sorry. So they have a lot of big international law firms that have offices in, I don't know, New York, Singapore, and Paris. The lawyers that are teaching the courses have a lot of knowledge, and they can help you networking and eventually find internship opportunities in big law firms, sorry. Also, the other thing which I mentioned already is the diversity of the court. Usually we have quite a lot of nationalities represented in the court. So we believe that the diversity of the background from our students is really going to enrich the classes, especially the practical classes where there's more interaction. So being able to share your experience with students who are coming from a very different background, who have different law background than yours is going to be really enriched. Also, we have the chance of having our campus at the Paris 2 University. So it's a large campus. We are located in the Assas Center, which is the more modern part of the Paris 2 campus. So when you're a student here, you can access all the facilities of the university as all the other students from the other programs. And now on a more money-oriented subject, sorry, here is an idea of the budget. Of course, this is very approximative because it depends on your own means and how you want to spend your money. But just to have an idea how you can live on in Paris. The first part is basic. The application fee is standard for all campuses. The tuition fee is a bit different depending on the campuses. So for the Paris campus is 17,000 euros, and you have a small university fee of 243 euros. And we estimate the living expenses around 1,000 euro a month. If you don't go overboard on going to the restaurants and all, and if you have a student kind of living. Of course, it's Paris, so you can also spend much more money if you want to live the Paris experience. And if you come to the Paris campus, you will have to get a student visa, and this student visa will allow you to work part-time or to do an internship. Those are two quite different things in France because internships are very strictly regulated. You have to file a request from the university to allow you to do an internship, and then the salaries are fixed. While you can also decide to work part-time, and then you can work as anyone. But it's only part-time. You cannot work full-time with a student visa in France. One other specificity for the if you decide to study either in Paris or in Singapore, is that we have a student exchange between both campuses. So at the end of the program, we allow the students from one or the other campus to do a 1 month exchange. So you will be following the same courses during those 4 weeks, but on the other campus. So if you're from Paris, you can go spend a month in Singapore and vice versa. There's no additional educational fee. You don't have to register. You just have to inform us of your wish to do this exchange. Of course, you have to pay for the plane ticket and accommodation in the other city. But that's it. That can give you an opportunity to experience 2 different environments and meet other students. So now I will let Bussy talked a little bit more about Singapore.
Thank you, Nora. So let's discuss about why Singapore. So when we launched this program about 10 years ago, we launched it in both cities, Paris and Singapore at the same time. And Singapore is one of our focus for the development of this program. So Singapore is, I would say, comparison to Paris, is a very young city, although it brings a lot of intention for the past 50 years to become the place to be when it comes to business in Southeast Asia, and slowly taking over the position of Hong Kong. And I think it has become the place, I mean, like a business hub for the entire region. A lot of the companies in Europe and from the US have opened their branches and their headquarters in the region in Singapore, and it's becoming one of the most competitive economy in the area. And because of that, we do tend to have a lot of corporate participants in Singapore, and you get a lot of networking opportunities. Singapore is also a hub for travels, although nowadays I would say travels are a bit compromised. But with your student pass, you are able to, you get a multi-entry visa, so you normally you'll be able to travel in and out of the country very easily. And especially the fact that the classes are concentrated in 3 days during the week, it gives you enough time to arrange your time and to travel around. Singapore is a magical island, and you do get a lot of Asian culture and a lot of the Western culture at the same time. And it's a very safe place for, let's say, a young woman or anybody. Is a very, very safe place to be. Crime rate is very minimal in Singapore. Singapore campus, we are actually based at INSEAD, the business school for the world, INSEAD campus. So we share the same facilities, and you get to meet the MBA students, MBA graduates from the INSEAD during your stay in Singapore, as well as to mingle with them and join their activities, their social clubs, and other things. So that is an extra perks on the networking opportunities that you can get from studying in Singapore. Our campus, the cohort of our campus is I would say younger than the cohort in Paris. There are more graduates and young professionals, and the vast majority of the students are non-Singaporean, with I would say it's a mix of European students and Asian students. And after your studies, you will be able to extend your stay in Singapore if you wish to. And the visa that you get is a 1-year visa. You'll be able to use it to seek for any job opportunities in Singapore. We do have a couple of students every year who intend to stay in Singapore and do the process to stay over and find a job in Singapore. The job market is very fluid, so it does happen. Yeah, we can go on with the budget. So basically, the budget for Singapore is very similar to the budget in Paris. The standard of living is quite high as well, and it will depend on the type of accommodation you want to spend your money on. And that is where I would say there's more viability. Besides that, food and transport is still very, very low. But basically, the cost is very similar to Paris. With the visa, you're also able to work up to 16 months. It could be a part-time job, it could be an internship. It's really up to you. We would share your CVs with our network, and we do have a certain number of students every year who do internships besides their studies. Some of the participants are actually professionals who maintain their full-time jobs. So it's also possible if you have any commitment back home to continue your work, for instance, and to be doing the program at the same time. In Singapore, besides the ALM program, we offer executive education, which are short courses meant for lawyers or mostly lawyers, but or paralegal or C-level participants. And we cover a wide range of areas of expertise, and we run them on campus. So these are great opportunities to meet and network with local professionals. If you were to do the LLM program, you also are invited to join these programs for free. So it's complementary to your participation to the LLM program, and join all these short courses that we run over the year. So here I've listed some of the topics that we cover. So there's a bit of finance, arbitration, commercial law. Right. Nowadays, with the COVID-19, we also offer these programs online. So if you were to want to have a first experience of what the campus has to offer, you can actually join these programs this year. And I indicated the time is generally run in the evening in Japan, so it will be 6 to 9 p.m. So you can reach out to me after this presentation if you want to know more about the short programs.
So if you're interested in the program, first of all, I think it's important to say that though we are part of the Université Paris 2 Panthéon-Assas, we have our own website. So I strongly suggest you go to visit the website to get more information, because information strictly on the Paris 2 website is, first of all, in French, and second of all, quite limited. So please go to our dedicated website, so you will have more information on each campuses and on all the programs. And if you decide to apply, then you will be redirected to the Paris 2 Université Panthéon-Assas application website. So you have to prepare a few documents in advance, of course. And the application process is quite straightforward. You just fill in the form and upload all your document. And at the end, you have a fee of €80 to pay so that we can process your application. I think it could be interesting to tell you that all campuses have a bit of a different approach to assessing the files. They are not always looking for the same profile of candidates. But what is sure is that they're not only looking for a specific academic courses and a GPA average. They're really looking at your file as a whole. So your curriculum and your personal statements are going to be very important in your application file. So those are the two elements on which you really have to concentrate, much more than the diplomas or the grades that you're going to fill in, that are, of course, necessary to add. But you really need to think about what is your career plan and how this program fits into your career plan, and to explain this in your personal statement. That is going to be very important. So as I said, all campuses have a board of directors that are going to assess your file with a little bit of different criteria. In Paris, they are looking a little bit more into students that have an academic law background. They're a little bit more strict about this, though, of course, if you have a great curriculum, they might oversee this element, but it is true that most of our students have at least a master's degree in law. And they like to have a diverse cohort. So they really appreciate that, to have some students that are younger, and then also students that are not students anymore, but have been practicing law for a few years. So we can have a wider range of profile in the program. I will let maybe Bussy say a little bit more about the profile the Board of Professors in Singapore is looking for.
Yeah, thank you, Nora. In Singapore, we tend to have a younger cohort. So law graduates who have 4 years of law studies are welcome to apply. And we tend to have a bit more of professionals, I would say more seasoned professionals from the region, and younger law graduates, I would say, from overseas.
So I think we can start the Q&A. I already have 1 or 2 questions here. So accommodation in Paris, is there any governmental support, university support for the accommodation? So we don't have dormitories at the Paris 2 Panthéon-Assas University. There is a cité universitaire, which is a place in the south of Paris, where you have a lot of dormitories that are for students, but from all different universities. So you can apply to find a place there, or else there's going to be, just like in every big cities, you have a lot of apartment sharing opportunities. You have a lot of websites, and of course we will send you a list of different websites where you can find apartments to share or just for yourself. As of government support, there is a place where you can apply to see if you can have governmental support to pay for your accommodation, but it's going to depend on your own financial capacities. So it's going to depend on your background. So you can apply to something before you come here. And it's going to be a case-by-case study of your file. Is there any support for the students who wish to pass the bar exam under Article 100? So to pass the bar exam in France, you need to register to a bar school in France. So there is one close to Paris, which is the EFB. So you need to apply there. This program is not going to give you direct access to bar exam. Alors, the question, which is in French, so I'm going to try to translate it. So I'm interested in Master 1 Marketing and Sales at the Université Paris 2, which is not a law school. So I will not be able to answer this question because we, at the International Law School, we only have information about our own campuses, but I will send you my email address, so you can send me your question directly, and then I can at least give you the contact information of the person who can help you. So just a second. Okay, my colleague is answering. Then next question, is it possible to apply to different master domain from what I studied in licence? So once again, this is more for the university in general. So yes, it is, but it's going to depend on your overall curriculum. So yes, it is possible to apply to a different master's domain than your licence, but usually you still have a few basic courses that you need to have to be able to attend to a specific domain master. So you will have to, you can once again send us an email, and I can, you can tell me which master you're interested in, and I can forward you the contact of the person responsible for this particular master. Oh, I have a question in Japanese, so I will have to translate it. Just a second. Are the Sorbonne and the University of Paris two different institutions? So yes, Sorbonne is very complicated in France. I think we found out there's I think there's 4 universities using the Sorbonne name. So actually, the short history is that there was one university, and over the years they separated into different universities, each having specialties. And so they separated in the 70s, they gave them numbers. So you have Paris 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it goes on for all the numbers. And then a few of them decided to merge again together in the 2008 or 10 or something. So we are not the Sorbonne University. There is the Sorbonne University, there is the Panthéon-Sorbonne, and we are Panthéon-Assas University, which has an international law school called Sorbonne-Assas University. So it's a bit complicated, but there is, when you see Sorbonne, there is different university. Honestly, they're all well-known universities. There's not one good or one bad university. All those universities are quite good, but they usually have their specialty. They don't specialize in the same thing. So they're not as good in different fields. Usually Panthéon-Assas is really known to be the university that specializes in law. But of course, there's a really qualitative programs in all of those universities called Sorbonne. So other question, if I understand well, Master 1, 2, and DSU are also open to the international law student. What will be the most attractive point of international LM program for the students comparing to other options above? So we often have this question between what is the difference between a French master and an LLM program. So in France, there is the diplômes nationaux, so the national diplomas that are following licence, master 1 and 2, and PhD. This is a continuum. If you do, usually you go from one to the other, but they are strictly regulated. The university doesn't have flexibility over the format of the program, over the price of the program, and over the requirements, the admission requirements. It's very strict. So a lot of universities are starting to do diplômes d'université, which are diplomas that are that allows the university to have more flexibility and to offer programs that would not fit in the licence master format. So the LLM is more in an Anglo-Saxon kind of diploma. In most Anglo-Saxon countries, you don't have a master degree in law. You have an LLM. It's a 1-year program. It's not a 2-year program. So the difference is usually in an LLM, there's more practice. It's a bit more intensive than a master's degree program, and it's just 1 year. I think Lucy wants to add information.
Thank you, Nora. It is correct. I think everything is about what do you intend to do with your degree. If you are looking to pass the bar exam, because I saw this is the same person who's been asking about passing the bar exam, and let's say you have not passed the bar exam in your own country, and in Japan, but you only want to, let's say you want to go to France and you want to practice law and you want to pass the Paris bar exam, then in this case, you will need to complete a Master 1 or a Master 2 degree, because that is one of the requirements to do the bar exam. If you already have passed the bar exam in your own country, and you intend to pass the bar exam in Paris, there are alternative ways to apply because you already passed the bar exam back home. And in this case, it doesn't matter if you have done Master 1 and 2 or LLM. It doesn't make any difference in the process. Now, the value of the degree is not based on either it's a Master 1 or Master 2 or DSU or an LLM. Is rather where the degree comes from. So if you come from a more renowned or lesser renowned university, then other parties will recognize your LLM degree and see it in a different way. I'm not sure if this answers completely the question. If you need more clarification, please type another question or reach out to us.
And maybe another element would be that if your intention after the program is to work in a law firm, usually international law firms are gonna recognize the LLM as something that is very intensive and hard and has a strong accent on practice. So if your idea is to have a stronger curriculum to find a job quickly in a big law firm, then the LLM, I believe, is going to be a little bit more effective than a master. I think we have other question. No, it disappeared.
Okay, we actually made a form for you to share your contact details if you want to contact us directly. I'm going to post a link, but I think you in the chat box, but I don't think you can just click on it. So you probably have to copy and paste the link. So here is, so I'm using this. So you can fill up this form and give us your contact details and we can get in touch.
Maybe we can take just a few minutes to talk also about the COVID situation and how it's going on now and how it should change in the next few months and how what's gonna happen next year. So this year we had to adapt to the situation. So of course so we maintained the program, of course. And depending on the campus, we had a different way of dealing with the situation. So in Paris, we had to do almost all of the classes starting in November in online. So we could not manage to have in-person classes. We were not allowed to do so. But of course, the vaccination campaign is going strong in France. We have reached over 20 million vaccination as of a few days ago. So we are quite optimistic that starting in October, most of the French population is going to be vaccinated. So the course should resume in person. So I think it's important to specify that if in France we're resuming in person, classes are going to be exclusively in person. It's not going to be a hybrid program. So on the France campus, we want students to be here 100%. So if you apply to the program in Paris, you have to be ready to come in Paris to go through your program in person. Yeah, well, while in Singapore, I think they have a little different approach.
Yes, indeed. In Singapore, the classes, so we have, as I mentioned, we have two types of professors. We have the professors from France and the professors from Singapore. So the professors from France cannot travel at the moment. So all the classes are online. And the professors in Singapore can access the campus and their classes are in person, which means that at the moment, this is the case, but it might change in the future, right? So we have 1 week of classes online and 1 week of classes on the campus. That being said, students can also decide to attend the entire program online. So we do have a couple of students who attend the program from home, and they are able to access the content of the classes, the recordings of the classes, and to pass the different assignments and exams from home. So this is also an option, although you'll be missing out on meeting your your fellow students and fellow participants on the campus. I would say that in pre-COVID times or post-COVID times, when the situation is normal, all the professors from France travel to Singapore. So the entire classes are happening on the campus. However, nowadays, because of the COVID-19 and after the COVID-19, I believe the classes will still be also available online if you choose so. So there will be a hybrid approach with professors on campus and the students might be in a classroom or from home.
So just last few words. So we've talked a lot about Paris and Singapore, but not much about Mauritius and Dubai. So once again, I just want to reiterate our suggestion that if you're interested in those programs, you have all our contact numbers on screen. So you can contact directly Miss Ekele Julia if you're interested in the Mauritius campus. And you can contact me if you're interested in the Dubai campus, whether it be for the LLB program that they offer on those two campuses or on the LLM program, which is quite similar. So I don't have any more questions. So I think Bussy and I are going to stay here a few minutes in case some of you have last minute questions.
Yeah, we do have another question.
Please go ahead, Bussy.
Is it good? It is good to hear that. All right, that's a very good question, and I would say it will depend on the campus that you decide to attend. So I'm going to speak for Singapore, although most of your questions was previously aimed at Paris. So okay, never mind. I will start with Singapore and say that. Nowadays, so the program is actually 3 evenings a week, spread over 9 months. So your commitment would be 3 evenings a week. That's about 10 hours of classes. And besides that, you have to, you have reading material, you have assignments, and you have preparation work to do on your own. It's up to the individual. If you like to, okay. If you want to have more information about the other programs, the best way is to send us an email or to complete the form. The programs are actually published on the website, and we do send a weekly newsletter on the short programs. So if you, as soon as you reach out to us and we have your contacts, we'll be able to share with you the upcoming programs. I'm going to leave Nora to answer you about your question.
Yeah. So yeah, in Paris, it depends on the week. We don't concentrate the classes as in Singapore on just a few days a week. It's a bit more stretched out into the whole week, but it's always during daytime. We don't have evening classes or weekend classes. You should expect to have 2 to 4 classes a week, and then some weeks you have more, and then some weeks you have no classes at all. So it depends a little bit on the availabilities of the professors. I'd have to say, to be honest, because you have also practitioners, sometimes they have last minute things in court that they really have to do that, and you can have the classes that move from one day to another. We try to limit this as much as possible, but in Paris, what is important to know is that it's considered a full-time program. You should be available full-time. We understand that you decide to do an internship, to have a part-time job on the side as well, but you still need to be available for this program because it is an intensive program, and we expect the students to have the energy and the time in their week for studying and attending the program. I would like to add for the students that are asking about programs in Assas but are not the program to the International Law School. First of all, there is very few programs in the universities in France that are not taught in French. There's very few English taught programs. So if you are not fluent in French, it's going to be hard to do a master's degree in France or a licence. Usually only the diplômes d'université, such as the LLMs, are going to be in English. However, if you find a program, or if it's because you're fluent in French and you want to have information and you cannot find it on the website, please do not hesitate to send me an email. I will try to find the person I can put you in contact with. So even if I don't know about the program, I can, of course, help you to find the information quickly.
Merci beaucoup pour votre participation.
Je vous en prie.
Il est temps, donc je vous laisse clore le webinaire et après je vais reprendre la parole.
Très bien.
So I'd like to thank you everyone for attending this presentation, and we look forward to meeting you in our campuses, maybe this year or the next year.
Yes, thank you everyone.
皆様、ご参加、長丁場お付き合いいただきありがとうございます。Choose France ウェビナーシリーズ、4日目、本日、終了とさせていただきます。明日は、博士課程留学についてのウェビナーを、開催いたしますので、博士課程に、ご興味がある方は、ぜひご参加ください。留学経験者の方の、体験談なども盛り込んでおりますので、ぜひ、ご参加ください。それでは本日お付き合いいただきありがとうございました。また明日お会いできることを楽しみにしております。それでは、merci beaucoup encore de votre participation.